Hello, everyone. This is Deb Joy Smeek with Delight of My Art here for day 3 of our Santa's Workshop Craft Along. Welcome to day 3 of 6. So we have 2 more projects for you today. In case you missed it, here's our projects from the last 2 days. So we got some things up there for you to see. But go ahead and check all of the different days here. We've got 2 projects per day designed by 6 amazing demonstrators. Mine were yesterday. And the first day was Melissa Faust. Today is Julie Salva, and I really love these projects. So let's go ahead and dive in. I have my tutorial here. I did sell out of the full packages. They were so cute, and they came with these adorable, I just dumped everything out, but this adorable gift bag that looks like elf pants. They're so cute. But those are now sold out. So make sure that you get the next craft along, but you can still get the tutorial here if you place an order in my online store. You can get it for free if it's your order's over $50, and if your order's over $100, I'm going to send you 10 free handmade cards as well. And you can also just purchase this for $35. So that is in here, craftalong.orderwithdeb.com, if you'd like to just purchase that. If you're a demonstrator and like to do these projects with your customers, you may go ahead and do that and purchase that from me. You may redo all of those things and teach them to others. That is part of the purchase agreement there. And if you would just like to craft along with me, that is perfectly fine too. I'll just go ahead and email you that file. But again, you can get that for free as well. So let me go ahead and put that away. We'll go ahead and get down to the desktop and get going. So we have this really fun card here. It's I forget what this fold is called. It's kind of like a fun, it is a fun fold. And you've got this kind of area here and here. If you did want to stuff that with snacks, you could, but this does fold flat also to fit in an envelope. So it's a really fun, cool fold. And you also have a spot on the back to write on. So let's go ahead and put this one together. And of course, since we are getting creative, this one is following the directions in the tutorial with the same papers and everything. This one has the stars, these gold and white and black trees, and then these nice little bubble like patterns on those 3 sides. I'm going to use different paper because I think that's fun. So we're going to go ahead and get out our pieces here, and I'll go tell you all the measurements off camera here after I'm looking at my tutorial here. So just a moment, making sure it's not going to fall down. All right, so here is our real red cardstock. This is 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. So almost a regular size card, except it's 8 1/4 instead of 8 1/2. So 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. We're going to score this on the long side 4 times to get this cool box thing over here. We're going to do it 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that way, what we're left with when we are done with this section, this whole piece left here is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So that is the size of a regular card. So that's why this can all just fold up like so. And it just kind of folds into itself to create that little box. And as it folds flat in the envelope, this is how it's going to look. So if you're getting some bulk, like it looks like I am, I might do a little bit of a trim just on that very far edge. So maybe I didn't do my measuring quite right. If you ever need to trim off the tiniest little bit, you can go up to that little gray line, and then that's like just the tiniest little hair that the blade will still catch on and get. Now our trimmers right now are 40% off. I hope that it's still available. Actually, I'm going to check real quick. Let's see. It's on low inventory and I am pre-recording. So I hope that that's still available, but we'll find out. It looks like I need my blade replaced as well. And I know those were on sale too, but they ran out of stock already. So in order to keep your blades running fresh longer, or to deal with a blade that's a little bit dull, I have my trusty nail file, and then I just kind of burnish the edge there to take care of any little paper tears. So that looks like it's going to fold a lot easier there. And that is going to be the base. So now we're going to take another piece of real red. You can see that little section right here. This piece is 4.5 by 4, and we're going to score this at 1/2 and 1.5. So you have the longer side at the top, and you're going to score it at 1/2 and 1.5. Half and 1.5. And that piece again was 4 inches by 4.5. So that just gets like that, and that's going to be put on the front like so. We will definitely do exact measuring to make sure that this edge over here lines up with the edge over there when everything folds flat. I'm just giving you the dimensions of all the pieces for now. Okay, so we have this white background piece back here that is 3.5 by 5. Yep, 3.5 by 5, and that's on the background. Actually, that's on this side. 3.5 by 5. I didn't make notes on that part. We also have this. This is the one on the front because it's the skinnier piece. This one's 2 7/8 by 5 1/8. So 2 7/8 by 5 1/8 is for the background of the DSP. That is correct. So the DSP here for the front, and I'm using the Christmas tags and more specialty paper. And this one is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. Nope. Yes. So that's not right either. Hang on. This is 5 inches. 2 3/4 by 5 inches. My goodness. I did make notes on that. I'm sorry. So 2 3/4 by 5. 2 7/8 by 5 1/8. We will get this one of these days. Okay, let's go ahead and glue those together before I say the measurement wrong again. It's something every day. You saw me crash things around on the day one. We smudged our ink and had to turn the paper over yesterday, so it's got to be something today. Got to be something that we're thankful for, making a mistake and being able to correct it. We've got our positive pants still on. Okay. So here is the background piece right there. And now we're going to tell you the measurement of this front DSP piece. And I chose this piece right here. This one is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And we're just going to double check what I'm telling you to make sure that I'm telling you correctly. So that is just going to be on this panel here. And those little flaps are going to be off to the right. And we also have 3 strips of DSP here. I took these from the edge of this piece of cardstock, and I got 2 of them from one piece because it's just a little thin edge, and I just trimmed off a little bit of one more because it still left me with a really good piece for using that cool swash of greenery on another piece. So I just did cut 3 of those. Those will go on these 3 panels, just like this. And these are 3/4 inch strips. They are 5 1/4 tall. So they're 3/4 inch wide. And do we need anything else? Oh, there was one more little strip that I wanted to put for the back side. And it's this piece. And I feel like it might be calculated on the back here. So this piece on the back, and I did make this one smaller, and I made this one bigger. So this one, let's see what the directions say. This one's 3 inches by 4 1/4. So it's a nice small section. And then the DSP then is the same 3 inches. So the measurements in the directions have the DSP at this size, but I think the white piece at this size, which means that then you'd have a little border, but the picture shows that it goes all the way across. So I think it's supposed to be this white piece with a bigger just a little bit longer strip. So this one is 3.5 by 4 3/4 for the white. 3.5, 4 3/4. And this little strip, which is 3/4 of an inch tall, is that same width. So that again is 3.5. So 3.5 instead of 3. I hope that makes sense. So let's just go ahead and start putting some things together. It looks like I did all of my scoring, so we can get rid of this trimmer. All right, so let's start with our base here. I made a giant pile of stuff. We'll just keep that off camera so our screen is nice and clean. All right, so I'm just going to add some adhesive right here. I'm going to add my liquid glue. We already did a little bit of a trim to make sure that that fits really nice, and you can always do that. So I'm just going to have this folded just like this and then fold the whole thing down, because we do want to make sure that that adheres so that the whole thing does fold flat in the envelope. I've seen these cards too, or you can do it like this way. So this way is up, or you can do that this little roll at the bottom and then have this little thing come up the top. This is a fun fold. I like this one. Probably have done it before, but I don't know which orientation I've done it. So maybe we need to revisit that. Okay, so here is our fun little column on the left side there. And we did our layering piece over here, so we can just center that on the back there. We do need to put this one down before we add anything else on here. So this is the logical next step here. Yesterday I was following my own directions and missed a step and had to unglue something. So that was another funny mistake that we made, but you know, we can fix our mistakes most of the time. I'm just waiting for something else to happen today. All right, so here's my 3 pieces. I'm just going to glue those on here. Today is our family Thanksgiving, so that's why I'm pre-recording. So I hope everybody's doing well. I hope the weather's nice by you. It is started out kind of almost 50 degrees, and it's just going to get colder, freezing over the rest of the hours of the day. But it is late November, so I really can't complain. If we had 50s near the end of November, that's awesome. I will take it and be thankful. Again, I have my positive pants on. Do you have your positive pants on this week? It's kind of hard sometimes, but we do our best. All right, I am thankful for all of you guys that tune in to watch me, whether watching live or on the replay. Absolutely love that you take time out of your day to be refreshed and get ideas and comment on my videos. So thank you so much. All right, so we do want to put all of those strips on before we add this front piece because it is glued on the top. So let's take our little strip here. We have those little edges on the right side. So this is the direction I think I'd like to stick that. In fact, let's take our little banner here. That kind of covers up most of that. So maybe I'd put this down a little bit, or I could put it like this, like it's hanging. That actually looks pretty good like that. So maybe let's do upside down. I feel like it should be this way, but I think that with this orientation, with the image up top there, we're going to have it just kind of be like a swash. Is that what you'd call it? A swag? It's not a swig. Just a bow of holly. All right, so here we have this big piece and then we have 2 little pieces over here. Fold both of those behind, and that edge needs to line up with the edge of the card over here. When we add glue to the back here, you're not adding glue to this bigger panel, just this skinny piece, because this piece is going to not be attached. So we're just adding glue to this thinner 1/2 inch strip. So I'm going to add my Stampin' Seal Plus just to that thin strip. And I'm going to pinch that so that it doesn't flap open as I'm trying to line this up. I'm just trying to line it up top to bottom so that I have the edge of this piece and centered there. That looks pretty good. And drop that down, press that. So now it's attached here, and now we can attach it over here. So you can see where the edge of this piece overlaps just a part of this top panel. It doesn't go all the way to the edge, so we don't want to add glue all the way to the edge. So I'm going to look over here. I'm just going to add some adhesive here on the right side, and I can see exactly where it is over from the panel here. And then I can add a little bit more adhesive on the far right here. So now we know it's not going to go past where that's going to land. So again, making sure that that edge here is folded and this is flat to the right. We're going to just fold that. I can see some adhesive sticking out. I don't want that to be out there. Okay, we're just going to make sure that that folds flat. Now, it may or may not fold flat the other way, but that's okay. We need it to fold flat this way, and it actually does do a pretty good job going the other way. I don't know if this one did, but that is what we want. That's pretty cute. I like this design. Okay, so when we get done, you're gonna have to tell me which one you like the best. I also have a piece of our basic beige ribbon and a vellum star that we cut out using the Ornamental Christmas. So this is the set that we're using for this project today. We got 'Tis the Season, and then we have, oh, I already took it out. It's this really fun star. We've got a lot of fun ornament pieces in this one. So that's just from your vellum there, and I'll just run the Stampin' Seal. Let's push this flat so we can adhere this. Now this is kind of a fun detail. You can have this star kind of stick off the front because when it folds flat, it's actually not sticking off at all. But when it is open, it looks like it's kind of off the edge. So that's kind of a fun little detail. Just make sure that when you fold it flat, it doesn't go off the edge. So there's that piece. We're going to do a little fold here. I'm going to add some more glue so that we can do a fun little foop foop of our ribbon. That's the official term, I guess. That looks a little big. Oh, no, it doesn't. It looks good. All right, so let's go ahead and stamp that. I'm going to get my real red out. And we've got 'Tis the Season somewhere around here. Unless I put it away. I did. 'Tis the Season. Let's see, let's get a block out. And again, I'm going to put this so that my words are parallel with my block in case I messed up that sticker. We don't have to worry about mounting these for long. All of the new stamps are going to be photopolymer. So that's kind of nice. No more crooked stickers. So I'm going to just ink this up and make sure my block is straight with my tag there. This tag is from the Labeled with Love punch. It's a nice basic punch. So I've got that one, and we'll put this on dimensionals. I got my new sheet of dimensionals. I was good and prepared my station today. At least as far as I think I did. So we'll find out what I forgot as we keep going, perhaps. All right, so here is the front. We still have to decorate the back, and then we can move on to project number 2, also known as project number 6 for the week. So I'm going to center this within that white area. We've got that, and then we can decorate with some of our sequins here. Like I said yesterday, these are heavy duty sequins. They seem really thick. Like sometimes when you get sequins, they feel like there's 2 together. That's how it feels. It feels like it's double thick, but that's how thick they are, which is really cool. I'm just gonna kind of decorate this just like I did the other one. So, oh, it stuck to my finger. There we go. We'll just add some dots here and I'll add sequins as we go. Oh, that one was stuck together. There we go. Oh, that's really pretty. Okay, let me know in the comments which of these color schemes you like the best. It's always fun to just see everybody's preferences. But I think they're both really pretty. Oh, we need to finish the back of this too. So hang on just a minute. So on the back side, we just added that strip on the back. So there's lots of room for writing. That's nice and easy. So I'll just add my little plaid piece here all the way to the bottom. You could scoot it up a little bit. It's a nice thick piece though, so we'll just put it all the way at the bottom and make sure that's lined up right. So this one's a little bit bigger than that other one. So let me know again which in the comments. Do you like the smaller back or the bigger back? I feel like this one might be easier just to write a quick little note. Love from your family or whatever to from. Okay, so there is our first card. Super fun. I love that fold. And so let's go ahead and move on to our next project. And I think the next project is my favorite so far for sure, but it's so cute. I don't know. This might be my favorite of the whole week. Look at this. So if you got the full package, there was candy in the little feet of the elf pants. And if you didn't eat it all, it is for this project. Isn't this so cute? And on the back side, there's even a room to write. This would be fabulous for a craft fair or anything. I love the way that this is packaged together. Save this one for future reference for gift giving because it is so cute, sturdy, and it looks so professional. So let's go ahead and put this one together. I was so impressed with this one. All right, so I have all of my little pieces here. And again, I'm going to tell you what we're doing. You do need a clear envelope. Stampin' Up! Sells these. So if you would ever like to sell your cards, they have these wonderful clear envelopes and they're not those loud, yucky feeling, foggy envelopes. These are really nice and they fit our cards perfectly, but you can also use them for other projects. So here are all our, this is lots of pieces here. Okay, so we start out with this real red base, and I gotta get to the right page here. Okay, so we have this piece, which is 4 3/4 by 7 1/2. And I think we only have to do scoring on this one piece. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So on the long side, you're going to score at 1 1/2. This is going to be that top little flap for this little piece. So again, the measurement was 4 3/4 by 7 1/2. Score on that long side at 1 1/2. And now we have, let's actually burnish this fold real quick. So that's that base piece. We have 2 pieces of garden green that are nice and big. This one is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So you get 2 of those. That's your background piece here and on the other side. So 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And that means that your basic white And your DSP for the background on the front is going to be 4x4. So we have 4x4 for the backside for our writing panel and 4x4 of our DSP. We also have a circle punch here, and that one is 2 3/8 circle punch. That one goes behind our cute little Santa there. That's going to go at the top. We have 2 pieces of the plaid designer series paper, and these are 1-inch strips that are 4 1/4 long. So those are going to go on top of actually some more garden green strips. These strips are 1 1/4 by 4 1/2. So 1 1/4 by 4 1/2, and then the DSP is 1 by 4 1/4. Yes, so they just fit right on there. So one for the front and one for the back on our decorations there. And we still have 2 little strips plus our little grating. So these 2 strips, which the candy sticks to, it just gives it a little bit of a grounding spot, is 1 inch by 2 3/4, and you have 2 of those. So once we get all these pieces, then we can start assembling. And then we have this cute little tag. This is part of that Festive Friends that has all those cute little guys. This is part of that die set, so that's just going to go on the front here. So I think that's all of our pieces besides our cute, and we're going to try a snowman on this one. Just a little bit different color variation. We've got We Wish You a Merry Christmas instead of Santa's Coming to Town. They both fit on that cute little banner. And we'll go ahead and color this guy in too. So, and I've got my cute little bow. All right, so now we can start doing some assembly. And this one, I mean, you could probably mass produce this. If you did all of your cutting beforehand, then you could start really putting it all together. And I wanted to experiment and see if we could make this where you could replace the candy without tearing it apart. Right now, it is attached up at the top in here, and you can't open this bag in order to get at the candy. The attachment is inside here. So I wanted to see if we could orient this bag so that the opening is maybe at the back at the bottom in case you had leftovers from another craft fair the year prior and wanted to freshen up your candy selection. You could take it out and replace. I'm always thinking of those kinds of things. So that was my thought on this one. So this one I attached at the top because that's what we were told to do in the tutorial. And then I got to thinking, oh, I want to be able to replace the candy in there. Sometimes I don't sell them all or didn't give them all away or whatever. Okay, so let's just start gluing things together. Isn't this a cute pattern? We're using that little diamond. We used this yesterday and sponged over top of it, and I was shocked that garden green ink on top of that let this light pattern show through. You'll just have to check out that video yesterday. I was pleased as punch. All right, so here, oh, you know what? I need to fish out my candy from the booties of the our little elf guy. Oh, he's so cute. This was another little gift in there, a little elf pen. All right, so now I gotta get my candies out. I think I stuck 10 in here. We only need 6. So you can eat some right away. Let's see, come on, candies. I thought these candies were so cute. We'll get these on Amazon. They were just so festive, and the color match was perfect. And they're just different enough to kind of be a standout candy. It's not those regular red and white ones or the green and white ones. These are just, they're both, and that's so fun. All right, so let's go ahead and stick this down. All right, I'm just eyeballing it. We kind of want a little bit bigger gap in the middle, I think, because of the little candy ends. Because they'll be touching each other in the middle there. So here and here probably looks good. No. And what I did on this one was I just did a strip of Seal Plus because it's clear, but it's real strong. So I'm going to put one in the very middle so that I know that that's centered. Well, this one's not wrapped evenly. Somebody did a bad job wrapping. We're going to stick that and hide it in the middle here. Right there. And at the top and the bottom. I've refrained from eating any of these because I didn't know if I needed more to send out. I think I may have a few extras now finally. So I'm going to try one later. So there's our candy. And now it can go into our little bag. So I'm going to put it so that the flap is at the top where the candy is, because when we fold it over, then it will be at the back. So as you're putting it into your bag, make sure the flap is at the top because you're going to be folding it over. It is a snug fit. So just go slow. You don't want to bend your cardstock or anything. Now I'm going to bend it. What we have to do then, if we're doing it this way, we have to scoot this so that the closed end does have a gap, and close this one snug at the bottom. That's going to be our trick. And we don't want any air in there either. So maybe we'll seal this after we put this in. So I think we just want to make sure that this whole thing is straight in here when we glue this side in. So this is what we're going to do. Experiment time. You guys get me experimenting on you guys. This is what happens when I have people come to my house. And I'm also experimenting with dessert at Thanksgiving today. That's what you get. We try fun new things together. All right, so I'm going to put 2 strips of the Seal Plus because I want it to really stick to this bag. And I want this to kind of go here. Let's see. We want to maybe 2 more strips up top here. Making sure that's all contained in there. I don't want to close it yet. All right, so we're going to put this in here, and I want this to be evenly spaced at the bottom. That is difficult. Okay, I want to do it right. Yes, okay. Whoa. Oh, it's getting stuck. All right, wait. Don't stick yet. All right, I'm going to line up my edges of the bottom. It's got to be even in the bag. This is going to be more difficult. This one's going to be easier. You just shove it in the bag and close the top so that there's a gap at the top and the whole thing's at the bottom. But I wanted to experiment. So we are just going to push this. Oh, now it's all wrinkly. I wanted this to be flat. Oh, now it's tearing. Oh, okay, we're going to make it flat, and that's just going to disappear underneath there. Experiment time is what we're doing. Yeah, all that just disappears in there. That's fine. Look at that. And so now we can just make sure that our end here is straight. And oh my goodness, look at us. We did it. Now it's resealable. Haha. Look at that. All right, so got excited. And it's all that, it was all lumpy and wrinkly, and it just hides right in there. Nobody knows. Okay, I'm going to put this piece on the front. We still have to do a little bit of stamping for the back. Oh, I got a glue booger. All right, we're just going to rip that off and throw it away. All right. Come on, you got this. You can do it. And we'll put this on here. We've got a little bit of our wiggle time for that liquid glue. Let's go ahead and add the one on the back too. Just evenly spaced up on that back upper area. Got that wiggle time to get that evenly spaced too. And then we're doing our stamping on here before we glue it onto the green piece, because we know that paper has 2 sides. If I do a screw up, then I can restamp. So we're going to do, we have We Wish You a Merry Christmas already on the top, or on the front. So we can do 'Tis the Season, like this one's already inked in red. Let's add that one, and then I'll add that same little tree. So I need garden green and real red. And the real red went over here. Okay. So let's just do our tree. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day today. And I hope you have super fun plans for Thanksgiving. Oop, now my table's a little bit green. That's okay. All right, we're gonna put this one away before I dip my elbow in it. And we will put our greeting on here. 'Tis the season. That's pretty. So let's add that one to the back. I could just see a table display full of these cute little things on at a craft fair. Or if you were hosting Christmas or something, everybody to have one on their plates. Wouldn't that be so cute? So cute. Or in your stocking, if you made this a little bit thinner, you could shove it in a stocking, depending on how big your stockings are, I guess. Super cute. Yeah, I bet you could make this in all sorts of different sizes. I like that the topper is just a little bit bigger than the square at the bottom. It kind of makes it look like a gift. Well done, Julie. Well done. All right, so we are going to just stick this green circle just kind of flat on the front here. Just evenly spaced top and bottom. Now we just need to do our coloring. Done with that piece. We have our little pieces here. Okay, so let me get out my scrap paper and we're just going to do a little coloring on this cute little snowman. We've got orange for the nose. I got my pumpkin pie. Got light. And you know me, I love to do my shadowing on with the blends. They just work so nicely to add shadows. So you can see the little, it's darker at the bottom of the carrot because that's the sun's shining from the top. All right, so we have red and green in here. So let's make him red and green. And we don't have garden green in our blends, but we do have dark granny apple green. So let's go ahead and add some green here. That'll do. And maybe a red scarf. I was going to color those in red, but I think I'm going to leave them in white. You know, we'll add some shadows. And I'll go over my green one more time just to get it a little bit darker, to get it a little closer to that garden green. You can see it's kind of turning more garden. Once that dries just a little bit, you can layer colors together. This is why it's so cool. You could even do a couple more layers if that suits your fancy. And you go ahead and suit your fancy. We approve. All right, we're going to use Wink of Stella, which is our glitter pen. This is a wonderful stocking stuffer. Every single teenage girl and adult woman would love to have a Wink of Stella, right? So it's just that subtle glimmer. We are going to make our snow sparkle in the sun. So I'm just going to do it all over where the snow is. Because he's so cute. Okay, so on the directions for this one, it said to attach the tag to the back of the Santa. So we're just going to attach this one, and I wish there wasn't a hole over here. We're kind of covered it up with the Santa, with just in the crook of his little ear there. But this one, we've got a little hand coming out. So maybe we'll just stick him a little higher, lower. Yeah, that'll work. It'll just be a little higher. That's okay. I'm going to add a glue dot to that end so that he can be right there. Yeah, it's a little lower. That's okay. It's still cute. And we'll just add our bow a little higher, maybe like that. All right, so we're going to put dimensionals on the back of this whole piece. I hope you're enjoying all of these projects. This is so fun for me too, because I created 2 projects, but I get to put together 12. It's like I'm taking the class too. So this is always lots of fun doing craft alongs, because I have a certain way of creating things and I have my own kind of style and flair, and other people have their own. And it's so refreshing to have lots of different ideas that maybe I wouldn't have thought of, and then taking their ideas and kind of adding my flair to that, or throwing things around and experimenting. So this has been a lot of fun. Okay, we can take the scrap paper out. We're going to add our little bow for our ending piece here, and then we are done with day 3. Let me know if you have a preference on these 2. They're both pretty similar. Super cute. I absolutely love this project. This one was so fun, and this one's going to be saved in my crafting ideas for a long time. So fun. Thank you again for tuning in. Again, if you would like to get that Festive Friends bundle, it is on sale in my online store at orderwithdeb.com. You can place an order and you'll get the tutorials for this craft along for free with an order over $50. So thank you again for tuning in. I hope that you're having a wonderful week with your family. If you're celebrating Thanksgiving, or if you're in another country, I want you to say hello to, and I appreciate everyone. So thankful for you, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.